can't remember exactly why I started playing the Borderlands games again. It might have been the announcement/release of the film, but I've been enjoying those a lot. I can't say that for this film, so let's talk about it. This was directed by ELi Roth, who developed the story and then wrote the screenplay alongside Joe Crombie. This stars Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Ariana Greenblatt. We have the voice of Jack Black, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this. And even with some of those names, I do not understand why we got this, as it was. Cate Blanchett is clearly not enjoying the role, and I saw something, I don't know the truth behind it, if you can fact check, fine, do so in the comments, but I saw something saying she basically accepted it during the pandemic, because a lot of actors were kind of like, oh, I kind of could do with some work to keep this lifestyle that I've been accustomed to, and, she signed on to it, and then you're like, well, I'm contracted, so let's do it. And that energy just shows on the screen. Even Kevin Hart, who's normally very bouncy, very light, very fun, him as Roland here is just very thin. I think Ariana Greenblatt is kind of one of the best performances, but she's still... It's almost like I'm just really cool and aloof, not I'm absolutely insane because I saw my parents killed, and that's another change that I don't agree with. I mean, the fact that we've got Tiny Tina in this, which is kind of more akin to the first game, plus Krieg. It's almost like they're kind of like, well, I like this. I say they, ELi Roth. Well, I like this, and I like this from this game, and I want this from this game. And it's like combining all these elements without thinking about paying homage properly to the source material. I do think that there are some positives. I think Marcus is well portrayed by Benjamin Byron Davis. I would have perhaps liked to see more of him. And we do have a good Moxie. I've seen online people... the kind of people I mean when I say this. It was like, why is Moxie being portrayed by basically someone over 30? Scooter and Ellie exist. That's your answer. They are, if not mentally, physically adults. And therefore, if Moxie's their mother, she must have had them at a certain age. Now, looking at Scooter's age, he's potentially in his 30s. So we're talking 50s would be reasonable. Moxie is designed as a MILF. That is who she is. So Gina Gershon fills that role. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to say too much more, but yeah, she does well. I think she's fine as Moxie here. She's one of the highlights. And for those weirdos who are complaining about it, there's plenty of, CG art done in Source Filmmaker and stuff like that. I'm saying this like I know it far too well, aren't I? Just don't think about why I know all this. But the CG art out there, there's cosplayers who do lewds and perhaps even more, that may do in costume. So you've got sources. If you're hung up on that, go to that. But yeah, I really do not think that this film should exist. Thankfully, we are getting Sonic 3, so I don't think we're going to have another Super Mario Bros. 90s situation where it effectively killed off game adaptations. We still have some stuff on the pipeline that will mean that this just gets ignored, I hope. I mean, if we get a sequel, it'd be really nice to see some of the elements of 2, but they'd probably just make it half 3 and half 2, and they'd probably put some pre-sequel in, and it'd just be a mess, so maybe I don't want a sequel. Unless you bought, you actually brought Handsome Jack in using the original voice actor, because that's another thing. I like Jack Black. I enjoy him generally as a performer. He's a very funny guy, but he's kind of doing an impression of Claptrap here. That's what it feels like. It isn't him performing Claptrap. He's doing an impression of Claptrap. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't, and that's the problem. If it was consistently on or consistently not, if he just owned the performance as Jack Black, it would have been infinitely better. That was a misstep. Absolutely. So yeah, I cannot recommend this film, but I always like to end on a positive. And I'm going to turn this into as much of a positive as I can. And then I really probably should end, because if I go on another rant, we'll be here all day. The creatures of Pandora are an integral part of the games. And we see a few. We see some Skags. We see some Rack, some Threshers, possibly the Destroyer, but I wouldn't put it past them that it's something entirely different. But I would like to see more. Now, I am, I've said it probably before, I'm arachnophobic. I also get uncomfortable by certain insects. Crabs, the big spindly ones, again, quite arachnid-like, so no. But I would be happy to see, in the distance, maybe a drifter or something like that. In the back of a shot, really far away, because they are spindly. Yeah, no. But some spider ants, I'm fine with those. They're kind of cute. I'd love some spider ants. Again, VAR kids maybe in the distance. No Scythids. They jump at the screen too much, and I just can't tolerate that. That's my anxiety coming out, I'm sure. But I would love to see that. If we do get a sequel, big if, but Eli Roth could fund it if he really wants. Getting actors might be the hard bit. But if we did get a sequel, having more creatures to make the world just not feel like there's a few skags and stuff and a bunch of psychos. That's it. That's your entire lot. That isn't Pandora. That isn't Borderlands. Strike the balance, and we'll see. You know, if we get another one, we'll see how well it pans out, but I really don't think that it's going to happen, let's be honest. So like I say, yeah, if I go back on the circle, we're going to get more rants, so I'm going to leave it there. I cannot recommend this, ending on technically a negative, but I don't care. I really don't care. Do not watch this. I want an hour and 40 minutes of my life back. So thank you very much for letting me rant about this. Next week, it's going to be a little better, hopefully. But whatever's coming then, I hope you join me for it, and as always, take care. I really don't watch this film.